Speaking at the event, the keynote speaker, Honorable Josephat Nenok, Chairman Council of Governors, said that the counties are slowly finding a way of integrating financial reporting and corporate governance in their day-to-day activities, despite the challenges they continue to face.
Since the devolution, county governments have been in existence for 6 years now. What I can say is for all the 47 counties, a lot of progress has been made compared to the initial 3 to 4 years when we had new personnel dealing with financial accountability and reporting. But there have been quite significant number of trainings conducted, both by the National Treasury and other institutions. So improvements have been made, but there is still a lot to be done on the area of capacity building, on the area of enforcing regulations. As you may have noted in the various Controller and Director General's reports, that you still need a lot more so that we can be able to build a work ethics that is of personnel, particularly accountant and procurement officers, who can be able to ensure that there is probity in management and accounting for public financial resources.
While mastering the art of financial reporting and corporate governance is not easy, Tom Kimaru, Regulatory Affairs Director at NSC, said its importance outweighs the challenges, as it is one of the sure ways to attract investment and boost growth.
Sound corporate reporting reduces the risks of investments and lending, and thus shaping the conditions for sustainable and equitable private sector-led growth. The exchange notes that the state-owned enterprises play a key role in East Africa as they provide essential goods and services to citizens and local businesses, and are significant sources of employment as well as productive investment. By embracing transparent and modern governance, our region can improve its service delivery performance and reduce the fiscal burden state-owned enterprises impose on national budgets.
However, those fruits can only be born if there is good governance. Prof. Gituro Wainaina, School of Business, University of Nairobi, said the impact of poor corporate governance on businesses and the country at large is detrimental.
From a very high perspective, you don't see any growth. Because I think the topic is spot on. Improve financial reporting and corporate governance for improved economic development. So you can actually see improved financing, corporate governance, they are feeding into economic development. So if we mess up here in terms of good reporting, we mess up in terms of good corporate governance, then this doesn't happen. So from the macro perspective, from a very clear macro perspective, then that will be the impact. And what you find, and I tell it very clearly, if we don't address those, then the issues of the agenda we have in this country, driving the Vision 2030, and I'm talking about the medium term 3, I'm talking about the big 4, then there are challenges. And I think it's important to appreciate that it doesn't just cut in government, it cuts the whole process, because the big 4 is a private sector who help the government to implement that. So it has tremendous impact on wealth creation. I think that's the word I like. Wealth creation within the Mwananchi.
To mitigate the damage and losses caused by poor financial reporting and corporate governance, Prof. Gituro pointed out that impunity both in the public and private sector must be dealt with.
First and foremost is to appreciate good governance pays. Good governance has wealth, creates wealth. Now, the people we look in terms of poor governance, people we look in terms of the scandals, they are doing it with impunity. So we must come back and deal with them with impunity. To me, it's no two ways. Probably we have to be no-nonsense in terms of implementing the law to the letter and fast-tracking that. We can't follow the law for the next 4 years. That will not help us. But why can't we fast-track that within a week, when anyone is implicated, the case is determined? So I think we need to get into that. And I'm a believer in strong believer in the law, because we are not in a jungle, but we can fast-track that law and deal with it squarely.
As the organizations gear for the Fire Awards tomorrow night, it will be a night of victories that go beyond the gala, as those involved will have more than just the trophies to show for it. They will endeavor for even better financial reporting practices that will drive their businesses to greater heights.